Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. It's Ijoma here, and in today's video we're going to learn how to make this beautiful Ankara top and skirt. So this Ankara top has a slit at the front, slit at the neckline, slit at the hemline, and this is the back. It has a belt at the back, and then it has this free sleeve. I actually love this top. I love it so much. Now we are going to start with the cotton. Here is the fabric that I used 3 yards, and these 3 yards I really had to manage it. Now we are going to start cutting the front. For the front, it is a free blouse, so in order to fold out the fabric that will be enough for you, divide your hip by 4. Divide your hip by 4 plus extra 3 inches. Your hip divided by 4 plus extra 3 inches. Now let's start taking our measurements. From the shoulder, I came down by 10 inches. That is my bust point. I will use 1 inch above that bust point as the chest line because it is a free top. I came up by 1 inch from the bust point. Then I marked 17 for my half length, and then for the full length of the top it is 25 plus allowance. It is just between 25-26. It depends on your length actually. So I'll go ahead and connect the lines. Now after connecting the lines, we will start with our body measurements. So before I do that, let me go ahead and cut this out so that it will be very clear when I am teaching. Now I am cutting out the back first of all. This is the back. This folding is for the back. All right, so after cutting out the back, we can cut out the front. So now I am done cutting. The first thing that I am going to do right now is to divide my shoulder into 2. Then I marked 3 by 1.5. That is for the back neckline. My shoulder is 16 divided by 2, that is 8. I marked, and we are doing freehand cutting, so I'll mark a straight line and connect my armhole. After doing that, I'll also connect the neckline. Now, like I said, this is a free top, and for the bust, when you get to the bust, you will divide your bust by 4 and add extra 2 or 3 inches. Your bust divided by 4 plus extra 2 inches for ease, and then another 1 inch for seam allowance. So just say bust divided by 4 plus 3. At the waist, you will divide your waist by 4 plus 3. At the hip, you will divide your hip by 4 plus 3. Then you are going to connect. It is a free top, and I will sew it with a lining. This top will come with a lining. Now after taking all the measurements, I'll go ahead and connect, and after connecting, this is what I have. Then at the hemline, at the full length of this top, at the side, you will come out by like 2.5. And then slant the hemline so that it will not be straight. All right, now I'll go ahead and cut out. After cutting this out, I will fold out another fabric and place this on top of it. Now this is the fabric that I have folded out, and I'm using it for the front. Now the front is going to have an opening at the center front, just like zip allowance, and it is going to be only half an inch. Okay, so now I'll place the back on this, and I am going to cut them exactly like. The only difference here is that the front will have an opening, and then the neckline will also be deeper. So the front neckline is going to be 4 inches deep. So now I'll go ahead and cut out. Like I said, the only difference is going to be around the neckline. The neckline of the front is 4 inches deep, but the side measurements, the armhole, the shoulder is the same thing. Then at the center front, I am going to add just half an inch, only half an inch. All right, so now I will cut out the armhole. Then back to the neckline, I am going to come down by 4 inches, 4 inches for the neck depth, and then the width remains the same. The width remains 3 inches. Then for the zipper allowance, like I said, I will add, just call it zip allowance. There is no zip there, but let's just call it allowance at the front. I am going to add just half an inch, highest 1 inch. Okay, now I am done cutting off the neckline, and I'll go ahead and cut out the allowance. Sorry, this is high target, and you know how high target picks thread. It picks, the fabric picks thread easily. So I'm trying to make sure that everything aligns, and I will cut. So you can see that front I added just half an inch, or highest 0.75 or 1 inch allowance. Now this is a fabric that I want to use for the sleeve. I have two here. I'm cutting out 2 sleeves at the same time. So what I'm going to do now is that I will curve my armhole, though this my armhole curve is too deep. Then the full length of this sleeve is actually 21 inches. Then at the center of that sleeve, like at the center of the sleeve, I am going to give it a V cut, like a little V cut. So from the down part I came up by 1.5 inch, and then the width of this V shape, of this triangular shape, is just 0.5. So you are going to cut it out so that when you open up this sleeve, it will give you a rectangular, a triangular cut at that center, a triangular cut at the center. So now I am done cutting out this sleeve, and you know we are going to turn out this V cut it has at the center. We are going to turn this V cut, but now I am managing fabric, and normally you are supposed to use the main fabric to turn it, so that when you raise your hand, people will still be seeing that V cut. I hope you understand. So what I'm going to do right now is to use my fabric and cut out a facing, because I'm managing, so I'm going to cut out a facing. I also curved the side of the sleeve, so I am going to cut out a facing. I will use this side, fold it just like you folded the sleeve, then place the sleeve on top of it and cut out a facing. That facing is going to be like 6 inches wide. So now place the sleeve on it and cut out a facing. This facing is just for turning that V part of the sleeve. You are going to do this to the both sleeves, all right? But for now, I am cutting out for one sleeve. Now that we are done, like I said, I'm managing this fabric, so this is the reason why I'm cutting something single. So now this is the width of the facing. It is about 6-7 inches. So I am going to use it to turn out the hemline and that V cut on the sleeve. Now the next thing that we are going to do is to cut out our skirt. And remember that this top also has a belt at the back, so if you don't want to run out of fabric, just buy 3.5 or 4 yards, at least 3.5 or 4 yards, so that you will not run out of fabric. Now I am trying to cut out my skirt, and it is going to be a very short skirt. So for this my skirt, the full length of the skirt is 16 inches, but I'll make it 17 inches. It is 16 inches. It is really short. So now this is the fabric we are using for the skirt. I'm going to take out 2 inches for the band. Yes, take out 2 inches for your band. Mark out the full length. The full length is 16 plus extra 2 inches for the hem, that is 18 inches. Now I'll take my waist measurement divided by 4 and mark. I'll take my hip measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. I will mark. So whatever you do, always remember to add your seam allowance, because this is freehand. It is not pattern that you have to cut out that allowance on paper. So now I'll connect from my waist to my hip, and then from my hip to my knee line. So after cutting out this front, I will use it to cut out the back of the skirt. Now this is the fabric that I'm using for the back of the skirt. I'm done folding it out. I'll place the front of the skirt on it and then add 2 inches for zipper allowance. I didn't do skirt contouring here. I'm managing my fabric, so I didn't do skirt contouring here, and I was also rushing. But I have a tutorial where I taught how to make a short skirt that doesn't hang at the back. How to make a short skirt that doesn't hang at the back. So now I am done cutting out and I'll open up my zipper allowance. Next thing we are going to do right now is to cut out our lining, and I will use the remaining fabric that I have here to make a belt, because the top is going to have a belt on both sides. So this is the fabric that I will use for the belt on both sides. So this is my lining. I'll go ahead and cut out the lining for all of them. Now I am done with the cutting. So this is the facing of the sleeve. I will use this facing to turn the sleeve, turn the hemline, turn that V cut, and then come back to show you guys. I'll turn all of them with the lining also, or like all the pieces that I cut out lining. For now I am done turning all those pieces with lining. I turned the neckline, the hemline, the side seam. So this is my front pieces. You can see this is the left hand side of it and this is the right hand side of it. Now let's go ahead and mark where the slit of the neckline will start from. So it all depends on how deep you want the slit of that neckline to be. So for me, I want it to start at my bust point. I want the slit to be low and it to stop at my half length. Start at my bust point, stop at my half length. So you can place the two of them on, like you can overlap it, like you can carry the one piece and place it on the other and run a stitch on it. But I don't want it like that. I will turn it like this and I will use a very tiny allowance, very tiny, and stitch it like very tiny. It is not even up to 0.2 inch, just 0.1 inch allowance. That is what I will use to run a stitch on it. All right, so these are the belts that I made for the top. I'll go ahead and get the belt. So these are the belts, and this also is the back piece. It does not have any opening. I'll place them together and then go ahead to stitch. So I'll use like 1 inch to shape all the sides of this top. Then for the shoulder, I'll also close the shoulder. It is a very simple tutorial. Now these are the pieces of the skirt. This one is the back, the right hand side of the back, then the other one. First of all, I'll close my zip allowance. I always love closing my zipper allowance before taking any measurements. So I'll fold the front, place on this, and then mark out the zipper allowance that I am supposed to use. After doing that, I'll close the skirts and come back. Now this is my sleeve, and you can see I am done turning all those V cut. Yes, and now I am going to fold it over this way and shape. So this is the reason why I said you should use facing will give it a very neat finishing. Now I am done turning the main top, and I am done adding everything, the belt. So I want to trim down the sleeve a little because this is a free top. So the freer the top, the deeper the armhole. So I'm trying to like trim the armhole a little so that when I fix the sleeve, everything will fit. Now I'll go ahead and get my sleeve. Of course, I've already shaped this sleeve, so I noticed that I will have excess. I had to cut down the cap of the sleeve. The more you cut down the cap of your sleeve, the more it fits into the armhole you have. All right, so now after fixing that, I'll come back and also shape my skirt. This sleeve is for the other side. After doing this, I'll come back and shape the skirt. So the skirt already, I have closed the zipper allowance. I'll place the front and the back together. These are the skirt pieces. Place the front and the back together. Take your waist, your hip, and at the full length of that measurement, whatever you took, whatever measurements you took at your hip measurement, you will come back by 1 inch on both sides because it is a short skirt. So my hip is actually 42 divided by 2, that is 21 and 21. So if I mark 21 on the hip, on the knee I am going to mark 19. Like I'll take out 1 inch on both sides because it is a short skirt. All right, now this is our top, and our top is ready. Very ready, very simple. Looking at the slit area, you will not even notice anything. That's why I said that you should not run a stitch on it. Now this is my skirt, and my skirt is done. I am going to fix my band. After fixing the band, I'll add my zipper, and that will be the end of the tutorial. Guys, we have so many online classes. We have about 25 online courses ranging from corset, blazer, trouser, Igbo George, shirts, cargo, hoodie, any many courses. Like we have a whole lot of them. If you're interested in any of these courses and would like to register, I'll drop our WhatsApp link in the comment section so that you can text us and register for any class of your choice. We also have a mobile app called So with Ijoma mobile app. You can download the app and make your payments there. So at the end of the day, this is what I have. I've also tied the rope at the back, and it looks really good. Yes, after tying the rope at the back, it will help the slits of your top and your skirt to show. Thank you all so much, and see you all in my next tutorial. Do not forget to subscribe. Bye.